Welcome to Sky News India. Exciting story. Exciting story about exciting seminar which is held on Ramakrishna Mission Institute of Culture, Goal Park, Kolkata after the launch of autobiography of Padma Shri awardee K. Mohammed, an Indian I am এক ভারতীয়র আত্মকথা. The book has been translated by Mr. Parthopratim Bose, Mr. Abhishek Das Choudhury and Mr. Dibban Guha and published by Dhree. K. Mohammed, a Padma Shri awardee Indian archaeologist. K. Mohammed, a renowned Indian archaeologist, was born on July 1, 1952 in Kerala. One of Muhammad's most significant discoveries was the excavation of Ibadat Khana, a complex established by Mughal Emperor Akbar in 1575. He also played a crucial role in excavation of the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya, where he found remains of a temple built between the 10th and 11th centuries. Muhammad contributes to archaeology have been recognized with the Padma Shri Award in 2019. Throughout his career, he demonstrated exceptional leadership and negotiation skills. Muhammad illustrious career spanned over 3 decades, during which he served as a regional director north of the Archaeological Survey of India (ASI). He is credited with several notable discoveries, including Ibadat Khana, Buddhist stupas, and monuments. Muhammad's restoration project include the Vateshwar complex and Danteora temples and the facelift of Delhi monuments. K. Mohammed innovative approach to community engagement enabled him to build trust with notorious groups in the Chambal Valley and Jagadalpur, gaining access to restricted area and conserving numerous historical monuments. Muhammad's replica museum in Delhi, established despite prevailing ideological oppositions, showcase his unwavering commitment to Indian cultures and civilization. His conservation expert extend beyond monument as he successfully reclaimed encroached land from powerful interest group and expanded the Archaeological Survey of India holding in Delhi by approximately 40 acres. A. Mohammad's autobiography provides a detailed account of his experience and challenges faced during his illustrious career. Muhammad's legacy continues to inspire future generations of archaeologists and historians. He inspired also journalists.
Maritime excavation was carried out by him, and he got a number of things associated with the island. And that has also been dated to 1400, 1500 BC. Next city here. So this was the excavation team of Ayodhya. Next please. We are celebrating Holi there at the site. I am here. Next please. And this is how we saw the whole site when we went there. I went inside, so there was a person, a police person was there, so he said, you cannot go inside, it is to be the king. So the eldest man, he said, no, I don't want to be the king. Because for this one, for this kingdom, I had to wait, I had to kill many of my brothers, so I don't want to be. Then the second person should be. He also refused. Bhima also refused, others also refused. But then you are Kshatriya, so it is your duty to rule the country. Then finally they decided, let the youngest among ourselves, let the youngest person, let him rule. Who was that person? That was Parikshit. Parikshit was the son of Abhimanyu. So there is a reference in Vayu Purana when the 8th generation from Parikshit, when he was ruling Hastinapura, a great flood occurred in Ganges and everything was flooded, everything was completely wiped out, and then people shifted from here to another place known as Kaushambi, which is 120 kilometers down the Ganges. So this reference was there in Vayu Purana. So during the excavation he wanted to see whether that is right or not, and whether you are getting any evidence of that flood at the excavated trenches or not. If you are getting the evidence of that, this one flood in the excavated trenches, then I can correlate with it. So it says that when the 8th generation from Parikshit was ruling Hastinapura, a great flood occurred, and then everything was completely wiped out. Gangeya Gange Apakrude Nagaram Nagaswapye Tyukta Nijachu, that is 8 from Parikshit. Tyukta Nijachu Nagaram Kaushambeya Sanivatsarayate. Next. These are all part of the work. It was again excavated by. Now the question is, how do you know whether these are temple pillars or masjid pillars or the other pillars? So temple pillars would be having, if it is of 11th and 12th century, temple pillars would be having Ashtamangala Chinnas, 8 auspicious symbols. And one of the Ashtamangala Chinna was a Purna Kalasha. A Purna Kalasha means a bowl would be there, a Kalasha would be there, and from which foliages would be coming out. It is known as Ashtamangala Chinna, one of the Ashtamangala Chinnas, Purna Kalasha. It was there. And there were certain gods and goddesses also, but that was disfigured by the people. And then we went for the excavation. Excavation was mainly on the western side. Western side would be the Mount Qibla would be there, and also on the southern side. So there we got this one, the pillar bases on which the temple pillars would be standing. So it was evident that there was a temple below this one. In Fatehpur Sikri also there is a depiction of Lord Rama and Hanuman. Next. In Fatehpur Sikri also there is a depiction of Lord Rama and Hanuman. Next. That was dropped. Next. K.K. Mohammed was with me during the excavation. It was Professor Deepika. So this is how you have to fight it out the case. And finally it was on the basis of all these evidences which we provided. Because this paper cuttings also have gone to the Supreme Court. And we exposed them there. Sir, this is the way these people are making blatant lies. And you have seen my last, this one, the first photograph also in which I was sitting on this one, on the ground at that time. So we have provided all these kinds of evidences and exposed them thoroughly. And the Supreme Court also came to the conclusion on the basis of the evidence. And finally they came to the conclusion that the whole area should be given to Hindu community. But at the same time, it was a very well balanced judgment. Very well balanced judgment was means Muslim claim was only for 2.07 acres of land. Instead of that, they have been given 5 acres of land just outside the Pradeshana area, outside the area. So that way they were also satisfied and Hindus were completely satisfied, and still there were attempts, so many attempts were there from Aligarh University by Irfan Habib and his own group of people to whip up the Muslim feelings and emotions. But they ultimately, because by that time Muslim people had also realized the real problem of these people. They knew and they did not side with the communist group of people. And that way they miserably failed in their attempt. So that is the whole story of our Ram Mandir, and what a fight we had to put up for getting the Ram Mandir in the real shape, and now we have put a beautiful structure is there, and many thousands and thousands of people are going every day to meet Ram Lalla. And thank you all, thank you for giving me.
One piece is available in National Museum, London Museum, and another piece you could see in Benares Hindu University, Kala Bhavan. This is a silver issue, Rama and Sita, and this is known as Ram Sita coin. And one coin is costing more than 100 crores now.
BHU has got this one.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, I have documented it.
Oh,
yes. There is a book, numismatic art in India.
Yes.
So I have documented in Kala.
Good.
Thank you.
Since we are now in the era of artificial intelligence and also digital archaeology, I do understand that artificial intelligence also requires matters of ethics and ethical standards, which actually needs to set up, because we are not having at the moment, because it's an open platform, a lot of people are doing a lot of mischiefs. So how that will help in terms of keeping it in the preservation corner, or in fact in terms of spreading that actually the brilliant work you people have done, so that we all in fact come to know.
Yes, the artificial intelligence will go a long way in protecting all these kinds of evidences which Archaeological Survey of India has gathered so far. But India is you have got, India is very rich in archaeology, and we have a glorious past also. So first of all, we have to go to all these places, we have to identify these places, go to the places and document these. That documentation should take place first. Excavation can take at a later period also. But it should be excavated also, because if we are not excavating, this urbanization is taking place like anything. So everything will be destroyed. So before that we will have to take up all this work, but for that you have to have a very visionary minister for all this, which is now lacking with this present government also. BP time.
You're part of this team. You're part of this team. So you had to go through a Kurukshetra.
Yes.
You had to fight against two forces. One is the forces of the Islamic extremists and the communists, and the pseudo-progressive, pseudo-leftist forces.
Yes.
So you had to fight two great battles with two. You had not one army. There are two armies before you, before your team. That's a great thing, sir. You have done. Your team has done in getting this. In arriving at the finality of this. Conclusions.
Yes.
But I have one question. Since you mentioned historical evidences also, sir, was there something like Guru Nanak? Guru Nanak, when he had visited the entire country, it's reported that he had visited that Ayodhya temple also, and that he has left a record of his visit to the Ayodhya temple in his works. That's why some Nihang Sikhs had come in the 19th century and you're offering prayers to Lord Rama at that site. So I'd like to know about that part of it, sir.
Actually, Guru Nanak ji had visited the place, and there was a record also, and there was a living record of this Nihang also. It was not actually Hindus who had started the work. It was the fight was actually picked up by these people that Nihang. He made all, and he was a government servant at that time. And there is a complaint also against him that this man is a government servant and he is interfering in all these things. But he had the guts to do that one. And coming to the second part, both Partha and me, we had to fight against the communist lobby of Aligarh Muslim University. It was at that time the RSS and BJP were supporting him. That is a Habib group. Yeah, yeah. Well, we were isolated like anything. Because in Aligarh Muslim University, he could get the support of the press people and then RSS BJP also. So we had to fight that way against RSS and BJP also, and also equally against the communist people. They had to discuss, they do it with all the sanctity. So it was for the religious sanctity, these people were wearing that yellow clothes.
Okay. So these things are now kept at National Museum, Delhi?
No, not National Museum, because we are going to have a very beautiful museum, international museum at Ayodhya.
Okay.
The work is going on. I went recently, 3 months back, I was there.
So all these things will be kept?
Oh, yes.
Thank you, sir.
I have said that that there has been no evidence they could give about the existence of a temple, irrespective of the judgment. So how do you see this?
See, all these are the evidences which we have presented before the Honorable Supreme Court. And it was on the basis of these evidences the Supreme Court has reached a conclusion. On the other side, they could not give any kind of evidence. They could not give any kind of evidence in support of it. So, I mean, Rivan is of course a very well-known legal luminary. We have no longer standing to contradict him. But at the same time, these are the evidences are before the entire world, and nobody has accepted his work, what he has spoken. Nobody has accepted it, and there was no discussion also in the public domain about it. Only one video we had seen, I have seen, as you have seen it, but there was no further discussion by the people.
Lots of Hindu temples are destroyed, and most of the mosques are built on Hindu temples. They are deliberately doing it to show their prowess, their power, and to disintegrate the country, those who are united by that time and fought and given strong fight against the intruders. The point is this: no archaeologist is claiming that there is a Ram temple. Just to make it very clear, what we are saying that there was a previous structure, and that is being destroyed, and it is connected with our emotion, our belief, and as you cannot go to the Makkah and Medina, cannot ask any question on Makkah and Medina. So why you people will not allow us to say something in favor of our culture, our love, our lineage to our country and heritage?
And does that include the Taj Mahal also?
Yes. One point I would like to clear: in Taj Mahal, part and part, the land was purchased before making it. It is not that they have grabbed it, because it is emotionally connected with Shah Jahan himself. It is a love symbol. So nobody will like to take a imarat in memory of his loved one to get it tears coming out from other communities and all other people. So nobody is going to disturb any Hindu sentiment. So this land was purchased with a pious purpose. So there is no doubt about it that it is not like that what it had been said. If you have started saying that all the Indian lands are belonging to the Hindus, who knows? The pirates, they are primates. They are not the Hindus. you cannot identify them with the. So it's an evolutionary process. What KK has suggested, we are actually united to say that India is for the Hindus, for the Muslims, for the Sikhs, for the Jains, for the Buddhists, because all are sprang up over here except Islam, but all other Indian religions have sprang up. So before that, whosoever it may be, it belongs to the Indian only. You should be proud of, whether you are a Muslim or a Hindu or a Christian or a Jain or a Buddhist, you should be proud of.
Even one of the oldest mosques, the Cherban Mosque is there, which is one of the oldest mosques in the world. Actually, it's still there. That's all I have to say.
জার্নালিস্ট চিরঞ্জীব, খবর কলকাতা, স্কাই নিউজ কলকাতা, স্কাই নিউজ ইন্ডিয়া।
We interrupt what you're watching right now to bring you this exciting story. Your cell phone is actually ringing.